Hey, what's up guys, it's Instructional Skateboarding, and today we're going to be talking about how you should never settle for good enough when you're learning something new, or when you're just doing a trick that you want to get better at that you can already do, just anything like that. You should never settle for good enough when you skate, because especially if you're learning a trick, if you just learned a trick, if you just want to get better, if you really want to progress in this sport, in skateboarding, and you're like me and you like to push yourself, and good enough is only good enough, and that's all there is to it. And you always want to get better, you want to improve, you want to, be proud of yourself. So for example, let's say you just learned how to ollie. I know how to ollie, I could say that was good enough, I got off the ground, but if you just learned how to ollie, would you be proud of that? Would you put it on Instagram if you have an Instagram and you post skateboarding stuff? Would you show your friends? Would you be proud enough that you did an ollie and it's good enough? Or would you want it to look better? Would you want to put something on Instagram that's higher, that's just cleaner, So I guess the thing you have to ask yourself is, good enough good enough? Or do you want it to be something that you're truly proud of? So for example, I'll do a shitty half cab on purpose. I can half cab every time, faking, frontside 180, it's easy, right? It's an easy trick for me. Warm up, to go to in a game skate. I'm going to do one shittily on purpose. I wasn't going fast, I barely popped, and I took tack after I landed. Okay? That's good enough. Sure, I did it. Doesn't mean I'm proud of it. Now let's see what a good half cab would look like. Something that isn't just there. This video is a perfect example of what just happened. That half cab I just did, the one I said was going to be better to show you guys how it should look, was good enough, but I don't like it. I wasn't proud of it, so I'm going to do it again. And that's what this whole video is talking about, is how you should never settle for good enough in skateboarding, because that's going to get you nowhere. So that's a bit of a better example for what a half cab should look like, okay? Now, this video isn't just to motivate you, but there's an actual principle to this, there's an actual idea to this video. And I'm going to explain it to you guys right now. This is why you never want to settle for good enough when you skateboard. The trick I just used is a demonstration. Frontside half cab, fakie front 180, whatever you want to call it. You need to have those before you learn something like a full cab. So, a half cab, like I just said, you roll backwards and you 180 behind you. If you want to do a full cab, it's that with the added rotation. So it's a fakie 360 behind you basically. Now if you settle for good enough on half cab, or you just learned half cab and you do one, and you do it okay, and you settle for good enough, do you think that's going to help you learn full cabs? Or do you think that rotation is going to be good enough when you go for the full cab? No, it's going to be shit, you're not going to land it. So you need to have your trick down properly. And that muscle memory of having the trick down properly is very important. So you can't settle for good enough, because it's going to help you if you just do it properly and you learn the trick properly, because if you settle for good enough, you can start to learn things wrong. Your muscle memory and your legs and your feet and just all that when you're learning the trick may affect you negatively. So you can't really just settle for good enough, like I said. Because here, I'm going to do a half cab, right? Oh, I did it. You want to have them good, you want to have them snapping properly before you start trying to learn something like a full cab, which looks like this. So just never settle for good enough, and I'm going to talk to you now just quickly about how to do that. So I've talked about what that looks like, why you should never do that, and this is how you never do it. 1, visualize yourself doing the trick or whatever you want to do perfectly and how you'll be proud of it and how you'd share it on Same Street. Because if you're really proud of it, if it's something that you'd show off or show your friends, it's probably better than good enough. 2, if you're learning a new trick or if you just got a new trick, if you land something good enough and you're satisfied with that because you just landed it and it's a really hard trick, okay. But in my opinion, you should always land one properly, because that's going to help your feet remember what they did, that's going to help your muscle memory, that's just going to help you visualize how that trick should be. So visualize how it's going to look and if you've shared it and it being proper, and do it properly so you have that proper muscle memory and you're not just settling for something subpar. The third tip, and the last one, is understand that only having something good enough isn't going to allow you to progress. Because that's all it is, it's just good enough. You're not improving properly, you don't have the trick properly, and it's just not what you would want. How can you progress, how can you get better if all you're settling for is subpar skating for yourself? You need to realize that just doing something good enough doesn't push your boundaries and it doesn't get you to where you want to be, and it just doesn't make you proud of yourself. So those are the 3 main tips. Visualize what it would look like to share it or how you'd be proud of it. Realize that you're never going to get anywhere and it's not going to help you progress if you only settle for good enough. And that it could actually hurt your skating because you could learn improper muscle memory and it could just teach you over time because of that muscle memory to land that hook different. So never settle for good enough in skateboarding, especially after learning a new trick or just doing something. You know, if you're filming clips, when I film clips a lot of times, they're good enough, and I go back and refilm it because I don't like it. And that's how it should be, and that's why it's important to never settle for good enough in skateboarding. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Social media links are down below. As you guys already know, it's been Instructional Skateboarding. See you guys next time.